Hello, everyone. This is Kevin, your entrepreneur. You're gonna get a more subdued, more calm, maybe a little bit more annoyed entrepreneur than you usually get. Um, and I have to admit, I'm not entirely sure what this video is going to be about. I don't. Here's the thing. I heard, and I've got notes here, or I've got an article. I'm not going to be reading really from the article, or much of it, I suppose. It's more or less just a okay there. So I have notes. Obviously, the big Uber news this weekend was about the news revelation that former Uber employee Susan Fowler, I think that's what, Susan Fowler, whatever her name is, Amy Farrah Fowler, Susan Fowler. I wonder if they're related. She worked for Uber, and shortly after becoming employed, she was sexually harassed by her manager, and he pretty much started trying to have sex with her, and she reported to HR. And because apparently he was a high-profile person or a high-performing person, whatever the term was, he would not be punished for this. She could either move to another department, or she could stay in the current department and know that because of her basically reporting that she was being sexually harassed would be factored into her yearly performance report, neither of which was a good option. Apparently, when she worked there was like 25% people, 25% of the employees were women. Now there's 3%. And when she moved to the other department, I think she moved to the other department, she found out that this actually was not his first offense. He had done this multiple times with other women. And, yeah. So I don't know if there's a lawsuit. I'm pretty sure there is. And, of course, even though apparently there had been multiple reportings of this guy, the fact that her story went public got CEO Travis Kalanick to publicly apologize. And in this Bloomberg article, which I will share below, he had an open meeting to all Uber employees today. And let's see here. He had next to him board member Ariana Huffington, who founded the Huffington Post, who is my parent company on my other YouTube channel. So I just want to make that known so that we can get the potential conflict of interest out of the way. And the head of HR on the other side. And according to one person, Travis spoke very honestly about the mistakes he's made and about how he wants to take the events of the last 48 hours to build a better Uber. Change doesn't usually happen without a catalyst. I hope that by taking the time to understand what's gone wrong and fixing it, we can not only make Uber better, but also contribute to improvements for women across the industry. And first of all, I hope Uber does change in terms of how it hires women. I don't think we should hire women just because they're women. But the fact that the company had 25% of its staff women and then down to 3%, largely because these sexual harassment claims probably didn't go anywhere, that says something. That says something definitely needs to change. But here's the other thing. There's lots of female Uber drivers. So that's one thing. And here's the other thing. Is Uber going to actually change more than just internally? Like, here's the thing. I'm still reeling from an attack recently. An Uber attack. And it's frustrating, really. It's so very, very frustrating that the drivers who make up the vast majority of the people at Uber and the vast majority of the problems, the drivers' problems are constantly shoved aside. Only when someone inside Uber actually gets wrong and they go to the media or they sue Uber does Uber actually acknowledge that something's wrong, and then they vow to change. It's kind of like how when they put their autonomous vehicles on the road and the and they do it without permission, and then they get in trouble, and they apologize. Oh, we're sorry, we didn't mean to. But you know what? And I'm not going to edit this video. I'm not going to edit it. Just going to keep pushing forward. So anyway, but the driver's issues. The drivers pay. Uber never promises to pay the drivers better. The tip option, they never promise to tip the drivers. Now we have driver safety. I'm adding that on. I was shoved against the door in my own car and had my property stolen from me. While I will make a full update video later on, sorry, just got a little itch there. That's my car. That's my safe space. I don't have a protection area, and yet Uber says I can't carry a weapon. I can't carry a weapon and protect myself in my own car, and they feel like they can tell me that even though I'm not their employee. I'm an independent contractor. Okay. I would like a better Uber, of course. Do I want them to hire more women at Uber? Yes, I do. But hiring more women at Uber is not going to make a better Uber. Ending the sexual harassment towards women, that will make a better Uber. Paying the drivers better, that will lead to a better Uber. Protecting the drivers a little bit more, that will lead to a better Uber. Protecting the passengers more, that will lead to a better Uber. Figuring out the problems before they become public, that would lead to a better Uber. And here's the thing. I know some of you are going to say, well, sometimes they don't know that it's a problem, and I acknowledge that. But in the case of Susan Fowler, they were warned in detail and in plenty of times that there was a problem. And they didn't fix it. They did not fix it. And it's interesting because soon, like probably within 5 days, I'm going to be making a DoorDash video about a problem they failed to address that I feel like I now have to go public about it, because how else are these companies going to learn? The only thing that these companies care about is money. You have to sue them to get them to care. And for businesses that are built on person-to-person relationships, that you get people to drive you around, other people around, this is not good. This is not good. It is what's the word? Apparent, abhorrent, appalling. I don't know. And also the media. Here's the thing. Have you not seen any of my videos, for example? Have you not watched any of Uberman's videos? What about Drive Girl Drive? Have you not watched any of their videos? Do you not see that there is a story right underneath you? You report on Delete Uber. You report on Susan Fowler. You report on the driverless cars being on the road without permits. But the daily story is the drivers getting shafted. The drivers who get paid very little, who cannot defend themselves, who get attacked, who get sexually assaulted. You won't report on us ever. Why won't you ever report on us? In fact, Arena Huffington, you are on Uber's board and you have vowed to hold Uber's feet to the fire until more women are hired at Uber. You know what? Again, great. I'm not saying women shouldn't have jobs at Uber, but don't you think maybe Uber treating the worker bees, the people who build the company, with a little incremental bit of respect and decency, don't you think that would be a much better start? Because if you start with the people that supposedly don't matter and you treat them well, shouldn't that policy come into the bigger workforce? And don't think Travis Kalanick didn't want Uber to be this way. He built it to be this competitive. That's why he did it. I mean, he kind of felt, he has the Steve Jobs mentality where, hey, if the departments are competing against each other, they're getting better products. And you know what? To a certain extent, that's true. But to a certain extent, Apple almost fell and crumbled under Steve Jobs' leadership. Apple had every right to kick him out. Yes, Steve eventually came back and saved the company, but Steve had to learn some very hard lessons first. Some very hard lessons first before that could happen. And Kalanick needs to learn those same hard lessons. But I don't know how else to get his attention. I really do not know how else to get his attention. Also in the meeting, he told that he'd work on improving as a leader. It provides him with a chance to show his employees his resolve in tight righting the ship. Here's what he said. If the world, and Uber specifically, takes one thing away from this, it should be that this is not an isolated incident, Amy Lucchito, a software engineer at Uber, wrote in a personal blog post. I think this is disgusting and appalling and horrifying, and yet I am not surprised at all. In fact, I'm most surprised at how surprised everyone else seems to be. That speaks volumes. And and when you turn that back to the drivers, it's not surprising when we hear that someone got their face smashed in with a flashlight or any of that stuff. Like, yeah, passengers aren't screened. I don't know. I'm still a little shaken up, by the way, folks. Again, I'll make another full video at some point. Let's just say that while I drove the following night and I honestly thought maybe it didn't affect me, it ended up affecting me way more than I thought. And this story, that I didn't comment on the story right away because I almost didn't care. It was like, oh, woman sexually harassed at Uber? That's Uber. And then I stopped and thought about it. It's like, that should not be our response. It should not be business as usual. It should not. Our response should be, that's horrible. We need to do something to change this company. What can the drivers do? Basically, not drive, for starters. After that, I don't know. I don't know. But keep an eye on this channel. Because these recent incidents has kind of got me to rethink a little what I want this channel to be and what kind of videos I want to make. Obviously, I still want to help people make money, but it's getting harder to do that for companies that don't care about their drivers and won't keep them safe, whether externally or internally. So, who knows what this channel is going to become? Who knows? I'm still going to try to do daily videos at the very least, but just give you a heads up, for the next few days, they might be less so while I try to figure out what's going on. And I do have some announcements to make. Sorry, my eyes are itchy. So on February 27th, that will be the first announcement. And March 31st, there will be another announcement. The March 31st announcement I actually had planned in advance, but I'm just saying it now. So, I will probably do a more thorough evaluation of the speech at a later date, but for now, it's all show. It's no substance. I don't care what he said. I just want him to actually do some things. I want it to get to the point where when things like this happen, it's a genuine surprise, not a surprise that we're getting another one. Anyway, what do you folks think? I'd like to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.